We now find ourselves on the edge of extinction.
Let's go back to the future with X-Men Days of Future Past. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, peep this out, it's your boy Ian K, here to discuss X-Men Days of Future Past, guys. This is the event film people have been waiting for ever since it was announced. Bryan Singer, the original director and producer of the first X-Men and its sequel, X2 X-Men United, returns to direct X-Men Days of Future Past, a classic retelling of a very awesome story from way back in the 80s written by Chris Claremont, and a direct sequel pretty much to First Class. Guys, if you guys have seen First Class, you'll know that was an amazing film, produced by Bryan Singer as well, so he's stepping back into the director's chair. And guys, the film is just banging, combining the original cast of the X-Men franchise along with the new version from First Class: Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Halle Berry, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, Peter Dinklage, just to name a few. Guys, let's just get into it. The movie picks up in a very bleak reality for our classic X-Men characters. They are definitely on the run, trying to get away from these creatures called the Sentinels that are basically mutant killers. When you see these things in action, it is hardcore. Special effects, awesome, especially in the beginning, showing those sequences there. The only way that they can try and stop this threat from ever getting to them is to go back in time. They basically decide, you know what, let's see if we can go back in time, change the events of the past, and that way it'll prevent the future from occurring. It's also a very convenient way to fix any shortcomings of any of the previous films, which is a good thing considering how X-Men 3 was. We won't go there. So they decide to send back one of their own to 1973 to hook up with their earlier versions of themselves and see what they can try and do to stop this threat from ever happening. And with that, we are caught up with the characters from First Class to see what they've been up to see what's going on. Let me just tell you guys, James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender own this movie just like they did in First Class. The frenemy relationship between Professor X and Magneto is definitely on display in this film, and it is just a testament to the acting chops of those two actors. You feel that emotional weight, you feel the struggle, you understand why they both feel the way they do. The writing is definitely on point. For a script that is based off of a comic book from back in the 80s, they really bridge the gap between the previous movies, and they foreshadow some of the things that will come, especially when you see some quick flashbacks between Logan, aka Wolverine, and another character in the film, which I'm not going to spoil for you, but it is definitely a very awesome little thing to watch, and I love how they're bridging that. They acknowledge the events of the past, as well as discussing some of the things that could possibly happen in the future. It is definitely an amazing film. Ian McKellen as Magneto, he has a very small part in this one here, wasn't in it as much as Patrick Stewart is, because most of the film does take place in the past, but they do a little back and forth between. But guys, let me just tell you, very exciting film. Just on a side note, Quicksilver, I wasn't a fan of the casting when I heard that Peter Evans was going to be cast in that role, but considering these are younger versions of the X-Men characters that we know and love, it actually is kind of fitting, and he has a couple of set-piece scenes that definitely steal the show. I'm telling you, he's very entertaining to watch, and all I'm going to say is that Pentagon scene is the bombest scene of any X-Men film that I have ever seen. This is definitely an exhilarating film, an amazing script, an amazing story, and of course the special effects. Guys, you've heard me say this a million times. These tentpole franchise films, they're constantly upping their game every time one of these films comes out, and it is a ridiculously awesome thing to see Magneto in action, along with the other X-Men, guys. Everyone just owns their roles. Great character development, great progression of the story. Very minor things change from the comic book in terms of who was sent back in time and who may be targeted in the film halfway in there. There's little changes there, but they do take the basic premise of that story and really meld it nicely with the original X-Men films, while also rebooting the franchise and getting ready for the next movie. And on that note, guys, stay till the end of the credits. All I have to say, I had my hands up as soon as it began when I saw what was going on. You know exactly what is coming. If you're seeing any of the rumors on the internet or any of the recent announcements, you are gonna have your hands up. So ridiculous. It was so awesome to see what happened at the very end of this right here. It's gonna be a long 2-year wait. That's all I have to say, and that's all I'm gonna say on it. You all know with Marvel movies and these big movies in general, you gotta stay till the end of the credits, guys. You're gonna miss out on something very important. If you're a comic book fan, you're definitely going to appreciate what you're going to see. So on that bomb sexy fear eyeball scale of 1 to 10, guys, what am I giving X-Men Days of Future Past? Well, this is a very easy 9 out of 10. It is definitely one of the premier movies of the summer, especially for the superhero genre. And if anything, as awesome as X2 X-Men United was, this film is definitely the companion film to that movie. Easily some of the best set pieces in the story progression yet. Bryan Singer, again, definitely knocking it out of the park considering he has been involved with this franchise franchise. He is definitely really back in force. I cannot wait to see what he's going to be doing next. You owe it to yourself to get down to a theater right now and check this out. Sound off time, guys. Drop those comments down below. Let me know what you thought of X-Men Days of Future Past. Have you seen the film? Have you checked it out already there? Have you read the original story that it's based on? How do you think it compared to X2 X-Men United? That is really the pinnacle in the X-Men franchise, aside from First Class, which was definitely a great film. What did you guys think of this new version of X-Men? Where are you excited to see the series go? Did you check out that post-credit scene after the movie ended there? Let me know. Drop those comments. I'm very excited to hear what you have to say, and of course, you know I'm going to do my best to get back to each and every one of you. And guys, if you can give this video a thumbs up, please like, share, and subscribe to peep this out. The channel is absolutely exploding right now, and I greatly appreciate the love and support from each and every one of you guys, from subscribing to commenting, but definitely share the channel with at least one peep that you know. Have them take a look at the content. There's a little bit of something there for everybody. And guys, speaking of commenting and subscribing, if you guys are doing that on the daily down below on any of the videos, chances are you are going to see your name featured in one of the shout out videos that I love to do on a daily basis there. I've got something planned for the next one because we've got a lot more subscribers lately, so keep a lookout for that there. I'm excited to show that to you there, but you never know, you may just hear your name called. And guys, with that, this has been your boy Ian K closing out another episode of Peep This Out. I will talk to you next time. Stay frosty.
I don't want your future!